Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa will reveal changes to his cabinet this evening. With South Africans experiencing the worst power cuts in the country's history, citizens are keen to find out who this electricity minister will be and whether the appointment or the appointed person rather will inspire confidence when it comes to solving the power crisis. Let's go to our senior reporter Aviwe Mtila, who's just speaking to a lot of people who are anticipating these changes. Aviwe, who are you with this time and what do they think should be happening tonight?
Hello, Maseko, and we'll be gauging the sentiments from the Black Business Council President, Elias Monache, in a bit. But I've been speaking to a number of stakeholders. Of course, the ordinary man on the ground will tell you that all they want is for the electricity to be on. They want the economic woes to be over. It's not about who per se takes over the various cabinet positions and vacancies, but it's about them doing the job. If you are to speak to Zwelinzima Mababe, for example, the General Secretary of SAFTU, he'll tell you that the boat itself is sinking and led by a captain that's basically blindfolded. Let's hear now the business sentiment from our President Elias Monache. Thank you for joining us at eNCA. But let's maybe first gauge how cabinet has fared over the last number of years.
Thanks, Aviwe, to you and the viewers of your station. I think the number of things that we need to look at. Firstly, the quality of the ministers that we have to date. Some of them, they are not clued up with their own respective duties and responsibilities, including even the knowledge and the resources in their respective departments. And that led to poor performance of some of them. The second part, for the past period, we then have leadership that is indecisive in terms of not taking any decisions on any matters. And that's part of the problem that as a country we're then faced with, because it then paralyzes the entire process within government or within the administration. And in the main, these are some of the issues that from business point of view, we want competent ministers that are decisive in their knowledge in terms of their respective areas of work.
Okay, and of course there are a number of vacancies now, starting from the Deputy President, Transport Minister, as we'd assume that Fikile Mbalula is now hands-on as the SG. There's the much talked about Minister of Electricity in the presidency. What's your wish list as the Black Business Council?
Again, our wish as an organization, we are looking at one, the president confirming the deputy president. That's the first thing, because the deputy president, in the main, the role of that individual is government business relations. So that that individual must then foster a better working relations between government and business across the board. That's the first thing. Secondly, in terms of the economic configuration, we are then looking at various economic ministers or the economic cluster. They need then to engage government business on various aspects, whether it can be transport, it can be energy, it can be trade and industry, it can be the question of passports, and in various forms and shape. Those are issues that we need then to address and look at as a sector.
And talking about deputy presidency, there is that murmurs around Paul Mashatile taking over, given that he's the deputy president of the African National Congress. Are you happy with Paul Mashatile? And the Minister of Electricity, who would you like to see there?
I guess part of the tradition in the ruling party is that automatically the deputy president of the ruling party becomes the deputy president of the country, and it is without a say that Paul Mashatile must then take the reins of a deputy president and be responsible for business government relations. The second part, I guess, we were surprised when the president in Sona mentioned a minister responsible for electricity, because our understanding is that the ruling party took a decision that line departments, they need them to be relocated to specific ministers, which basically means ESCOM are supposed then to go to Minister of Mineral and Resources, and that's not happening because some people, they then mentioned that they desire to have a minister responsible for ESCOM, and that's where the president basically is in breach, if one were to use that word, is in breach of the ruling party resolutions. And even if that is the case, we want somebody responsible for electricity to be somebody who's competent, who understands the energy or the electricity space. Because if we don't have a person of that nature, we're back to square one in terms of having a minister who does not understand the entire energy configuration in the country.